Hi everyone, I'm going to share 5 things that happen when you eat cooked food over raw foods. Number 1 is I go from having dry skin on the heels of my feet. I go from this to this. And that's with no oils, no lotions, no creams. And my skin becomes really irritated, dry and itchy. And that's normally on the extremities of my body. So that's my feet, my hands get really dry, and also the skin on my face. Once I've cleansed or I've washed my face, it needs moisturizer, and I was able to not use moisturizer for a very long time, up until my late 30s. And since eating high fruit, high raw foods and away from cooked vegan foods, I've noticed a change in my skin. So if I choose to eat cooked vegan foods now, these are the symptoms that will come up. The second thing that happens is thirst. I feel much more thirsty when I eat cooked food over eating raw foods. And when I say raw foods, they are normally high water content fruits, as well as vegetables, which are a salad with soft leafy greens, romaine lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes generally, and sometimes some bell peppers. So when I eat cooked foods, that's what happens. I feel much more thirsty, my mouth is dry, and sometimes I feel as though I can't even quench my thirst. I do try to have high fruits at those times, or water and juices. So those juices can be any type of fruit juice or a green juice of some type. The third thing that happens is my energy level slump. If I have had cooked foods, which would be normally later in the day for me, so I will eat dinner around 5 to 6 p.m. in the evening, and after that, within half an hour to 1 hour, I will want to sit down and have a little nap. I might switch something on the television that I'm not really that interested in, and fall asleep for a short period of time. But I notice that my energy levels are much lower than when I'm eating high raw foods. The fourth thing that I notice is my nails. My nails become brittle, they become weak, very flaky and dry all around. They also have ridges in them, which might be a mineral deficiency, but I notice that they become dry also. Number 5, and this is probably the biggest thing, is that I crave food. Once I start eating cooked food, I want more. It seems to be no off button, and I just don't seem to have that issue when I'm eating high fruits with lots of water content in them. I feel satisfied, especially if the fruit is sweet and delicious. I won't have to keep going back and then wanting some more and then another snack. And once I get into eating cooked foods, I seem to crave and sugar and lots of other things, and just more of those foods. It seems to be a bit of a spiral effect of having cravings, which then can lead to more and more issues. So the summary is that when you eat raw food compared to cooked food, the general outcome is that you're really very dehydrated, and that dehydration will continue until you incorporate more live raw foods into your diet. And for me, that also includes occasional water fasting, juice fasting, and making sure my diet is high in raw foods. If you have any of those symptoms, if you have any of those things going on, maybe you could try having meals 1 and 2 be a high fruit content, and then possibly having a salad for your final meal. If that's too much of a jump for you, then try your first meal of the day, your breakfast, whatever time that may be for you, be high fruit content, and I would suggest a mono meal, and a mono meal is literally one type of food at a time. So pineapple, mangoes, watermelon, honeydew melon, any melon, or citrus. You can have oranges, grapes, berries for your first meal, but make sure that you have a very high quantity so that you feel full, so that you feel satisfied. As time goes by, it's likely that you won't need as much food in each sitting or throughout the day, but just make sure the first time you make that transition that you eat enough volume. And it's also very important still to keep your water intake up as well, and that would be around 2 to 4 litres per day, which seems to be the safe range for the average person to consume, because we don't want to consume too much water all at once. So that's it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and please come and join me on the next one. Bye for now.